Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and without further ado, let's jump right into it. Crypto payments company Circle has said that its $9 billion plans to go public didn't go through because the US SEC did not sign off on it. This is according to news from the Financial Times. It's going to get very confusing in a little bit, I promise you. In a tweet in early December, Circle CEO Jeremy Allaire said his firm didn't complete the SEC's qualification in time. The company behind the USDC Circle coin, the world's second largest stablecoin, had announced plans to go public in July of 2021. That's a while ago. With a valuation of $4.5 billion, which doubled in February of 2022, when the company negotiated a new deal with special purpose acquisition company SPAC Concord Acquisition Corp., reflecting improvements in its financial outlook and competitive position. According to the Financial Times, Circle said that neither turbulent markets nor fearful investors were a factor in the abandonment of its SPAC deal. They said, and I do quote, "The business combination could not be consummated before the expiration of the transaction agreement because the SEC had not yet declared our S-4 registration effective." An S-4 registration is a registration document that companies have to file with the SEC seeking permission to offer new shares, the report said. Circle also said that they never expected the SEC registration process to be quick and that it's necessary, appropriate, and reasonable for the SEC to have a thorough, rigorous review process. So you might be wondering, what does this have to do with anything? The news is that Circle actually apparently tried to go public, and the reason why they were not able to do so is because the SEC allegedly took too long, didn't file their paperwork, and therefore they were not actually able to do so. This and the next story were incredibly popular news stories because, a spokesperson for USD coin issuer Circle has denied reports that it blamed the US SEC over its failed $9 billion plan to go public in December. Right. So the news is, apparently they tried to go public, their valuation doubled, they tried to go publicer. The US SEC allegedly, what have you, was the fault for a reason, them not actually going public. And then when that hit the news that the people from Circle basically allegedly came out and said that the SEC was the issue, then I think the SEC had a problem. And that's when the people from Circle were like, oh no, wait, what? Us? We never said anything. The stablecoin issuer representative was responding to a 25th of January Financial Times article that characterized Circle as having blamed the securities regulator for its derailed listing by dragging its feet on the approval of a merger agreement, which they probably did. We've gone over this before. It does not take 9 months to read anything. You can read, look, listen, if you have it in you, you can read a book in a month. You can read a book in 2 weeks. You can read a 300-page book if you wanted to in a week. I find it very hard to believe. I don't know how many sheets of paper Circle, Gemini, the Winklevoss twins, Grayscale have handed to the SEC. It does not take 2 years to read a stack of paperwork that looks the same as every other company trying to do the exact same thing. So they definitely did drag their feet. It's just that in this instance, when we read, and I mean even read literally between the lines, I think a lot of companies are quite afraid of the SEC. The SEC has far too much power, and they wield their magical, odd regulatory sword wherever they kind of see fit. And I'm certain that other companies before in the past who have said anything negative about them probably have not gotten any paperwork actually pushed through, which is a lot like corruption because you're supposed to be regulating and simply pushing paperwork through that actually has the proper framework or whatever they're looking for in the actual filing. Anyway, however, a Circle spokesperson clarified to Cointelegraph that this was not the case and that it doesn't hold any blame over the SEC for the termination of its merger agreement. They said Circle has not and does not blame the SEC for anything related to the mutual termination of our SPAC merger agreement with Concord, and any statements to the contrary are inaccurate. I assume they said this because I'm pretty sure a lawyer or somebody told them, hey, you gotta, bring it on back. Because a lot of times before, many times before, in the cryptocurrency space, when a company has applied for something through the SEC and the SEC has said, nope, we never tend to hear. I'll put it to you this way. The companies usually always come out in anger in some sort of way. They always say the SEC is dragging their feet. The SEC is so-and-so. I don't understand why it didn't go through. And I wouldn't be surprised if we found out in 10 to 15 years that there was some actual wrongdoing going on. Because after even Grayscale announced that something seemed off with the US SEC, their Bitcoin trust fell by 50% in value, even as Bitcoin had already fallen. I feel like something really weird is going on, and I have felt that way for a while. I'll probably never find out, as I am never in any of these conversations. But anyway, the news is a company tried to do something. The SEC said no, which is weird because, they always say yes to every single thing that's going through. And now the company is saying that they didn't say anything. So what have you. This was very popular news because people don't like the SEC. I don't know how to sugarcoat that in any sort of way. That's the Circle SEC news. We didn't say it. And yeah, let's move on. In this, you guys got to cool it down because this was a little bit too exciting for the internet right here. Satoshi Kusama, who is the lead developer, the head person for the Shiba Inu coin, recently made a revelation while responding to an inquiry from a community member. Satoshi Kusama, the lead Shiba Inu developer, recently confirmed that one of the development term's goals, hear me out here, is to actually burn trillions of Shiba Inu. So for those of you who don't know, Shiba Inu is probably the third most popular coin on the planet right now. I'm not going to go over everything, but just know that they have about 14 upgrades, updates, layer 2s, metaverses, you name it, in the works, all of which is supposed to be happening sometime over the course of just this year. One of the mythological points of Shiba Inu is that at some point the coin will become massiver than Dogecoin and people will love it and it's the most amazing thing on the planet. The problem is that Shiba Inu has a lot of coins. So they don't have millions, they don't have billions, they don't have hundreds of billions, they have trillions. I don't know, I think it's 4 trillion or something along those lines. And the efforts have been thus far, every transaction that happens, Shiba Inu gets burned. Every time something happens in a crypto exchange, Shiba Inu gets burned. And also there's a whole bunch of other companies and stuff like that who are burning Shiba Inu every single day. We normally get news, 282 million Shiba Inu were burned in the last 48 hours and all this other kind of stuff like that. However, the main developer has announced that their goal when Shibarium, the layer 2 scaling solution launches, is to burn trillions of Shiba Inu. Right. Trillions of tokens with Shibarium, the much anticipated upcoming layer 2 solution. This disclosure has significantly increased the hype around Shibarium, as token burns remain a primary concern of the community. Kusama made the revelation in the community Discord channel while responding to a recent inquiry from a member. They said, will trillions of coins be burned from it? And then Kusama answered, that's the goal, bud. Okay. The exciting disclosure was further brought to public attention by Shiba Spain, an anonymous Spanish-based Shiba Inu community member on Twitter. Shiba Spain had always propagated claims that Shibarium would burn trillions of tokens at its full force. This confirmation brings credibility to the claim. And here's a tweet for it right here. When I say this news was popular, it's impossible to understate it. You don't understand how big this coin is and how big. I saw something earlier. It was some famous YouTuber who recently announced, he was like, you gotta buy Shiba Inu right now, and everybody lost their flipping mind. So the point is, one of the most popular coins on the planet, everyone's going completely crazy for it. Everyone's waiting to make hundreds of thousands, if not low millions of dollars from this coin, depending on how many Shiba Inus you have. At some point, I think we all need to be realistic. This coin is going to hit 1 cent. I don't know what more confirming you need than that. There's so much happening with this coin. There's so many different protocols being created that are going to be burning even more coins. If trillions of coins end up being burned when the layer 2 solution is actually active, and we start pumping in price and we get to 2024 and then 2025 when the next euphoric phase of the market is supposed to hit, if this coin is in 3 cents by that point, after they've burned trillions of coins, I would be flabbergasted. I don't know how else to put it. Very popular news. Anytime Shiba Inu's in the news, everyone's always talking about it. Massive SHIB burn alert. Trillions of Shiba Inu tokens to go up in flames with Shibarium. Shibarium. I'm going to say Shibarium. It's a Shiba Inu. It says a Rium at the end. I'm going to say Shiba. I forgot what I said. Anyway, so yeah, I think this is supposed to be launching sometime in Q1. That is to say, within the next 2 months, we should be getting Shibarium launching. And from there, we will, I assure you, have nearly a daily counter of how many coins are being burned. So something to look forward to. That's the Shiba Inu massive burn alert. Trillions of coins to be burned with Shibarium. Yeah. Let's move on. Also sure, why not? Go for it. CBOE Global Market apparently is willing to add support for more cryptocurrencies on its trading platform, according to a report by Bloomberg. The Chicago-based company currently offers access to Bitcoin, Bcash, Ether, Litecoin, and USD coin. What? That's it? Okay. Last August, CBOE Global Markets listed such trading heavyweights such as Jump Crypto, Robinhood, and DRW among its equity partners in its CBOE digital division. Okay. CBOE Digital Markets was formed after the Chicago-based trading giant moved to acquire cryptocurrency derivatives marketplace ErisX, which was originally launched back in 2018 and enjoyed backing from such major players as TD Ameritrade, Virtue Financial, and DRW Holdings. CBOE, for those of you who don't know, is similar to the CME in that they both launched Bitcoin futures. I assume this is the same CBOE. It can't be any other CBOE. It's the Chicago Options Exchange or something like that. At the exact same time, and they both basically faltered. Not as many people as they assumed were actually wanting to trade Bitcoin options or futures as they were trying to have it. The CME, I believe, still has theirs running, and they do stuff. But I think the CBOE one ended up falling, didn't have as much volume. I don't remember anymore. This was like 95 years ago. And then I believe that they created their own cryptocurrency exchange, which is what I think this is, CBOE Global Market. Why would you only have 4 coins? Why would that make sense at any point? Is their volume $12? They only have Bitcoin, Bcash, which no one is using, Ether, and Litecoin. So anyway, CBOE Global Market has said that they're willing to add more coins to their platform. I'm glad they finally got to 2016. So stone in the dark here. I assume they're going to be looking to add Cardano. I assume probably not XRP because, corruption from the SEC. Maybe Lumens. I doubt that one as well. Like, what other coins would they even be adding to their platform? I don't know. Anyway, cool. The CBOE plans to add other coins. Just do it. Like, we don't have to have an announcement. Just add the other coins and then have an announcement of that. Like, no one's going to be using the CBOE cryptocurrency exchange when they have Kraken, Coinbase, and Binance, and Gemini, for those of you out here who are Gemini twin fans. So, yeah, can't wait to not use that. All right. Let's move on. Also, this was popular, but it shouldn't have been because water is wet. In a move that comes as little surprise to those familiar with the regulatory landscape surrounding cryptocurrencies in the U.S., the United States Securities and Exchange Commission has once again denied an application from ARK Investment Management and 21 Shares to list a spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund on the on the CBOE BZX exchange. The CBOE again, look at them making the news twice. This marks the second time that the much feared regulator has shot down the proposal, with a similar effort previously being rejected last April. Undeterred, the duo submitted a new application last May, but the agency has once again cited concerns over fraud and manipulation as the primary reasons for its decision. You know that the gold and silver market is manipulated, right? You can find the news that multiple banks around the world have been fined for manipulating the prices of precious metals, and they still have ETFs. You know that the housing market is also very heavily manipulated, and there are still housing market ETFs. Every financial instrument, have you heard of insider trading? That's also a thing. Even when it's not caught, it still ends up happening. And there are also ETFs based off of stocks. So I for the life of me can't understand why the ABC SEC continues to lie to all of our faces every single day. The SEC highlighted that BZX had failed to demonstrate that its proposal was consistent within the requirements surrounding the prevention of malicious practices. Okay. The agency's decision is based on its belief that the Bitcoin market is still susceptible to fraud and manipulation, just like the housing market. You know why the housing market went up like a year or two ago? It was because of an algorithm. The algorithm's name is Aladdin. Google it. Google algorithm, BlackRock, Aladdin, housing market. The algorithm told them to buy up housing to manipulate the market so that other normal people could not buy. The idea is, if you've been paying attention to all these companies who will continue rising valuations as the world's markets were crumbling, the next goal of all these rich people is to basically buy up as much real estate as possible so that they can always dictate what rents are. The idea is, if we own everything and you have to rent, you have no choice. You cannot buy because we own everything. Look it up. It's every single market is manipulated in some sort of way. It's just a matter of who's manipulating it, which kind of ends up making it legal or illegal. So the news was, and a lot of people were shooketh by this news, that the SEC has once again rejected another Bitcoin ETF. I would say I applaud the companies for trying to refile, but just stop. It's kind of embarrassing at this point. We know that the SEC isn't going to let any of these things through, at least for another couple of years. And when they do allow one of these through, it's not going to be ARK 21 or anyone else with a weird name. It's going to be BlackRock. It's going to be Fidelity. It's going to be someone who puts enough money into the SEC's pocket. I mean, it's pretty clear by now. Once again, every other country that wanted a Bitcoin ETF has multiple at this point. So, you know. Anyway, it's weird that people are still filing. I hope that no one else files. Don't give these people any more money. Like, what are you doing? I'm pretty sure when you file, it's not free. So stop giving these people money. Even more so, if you're able to do so and come up north to Canada, we have multiple Bitcoin ETFs here. Just open up shop here. You'll definitely get your Bitcoin ETF. Why would you want to work with the SEC? Like, they not even seem slimy. They seem so gross. Like, I would never want to be in a... Anyway, That's the SEC has once again rejected 2 more Bitcoin ETFs because they have nothing better to do with their time. It's not like they're actually regulating anything. News. Okay. Let's move on. If you don't know or haven't heard of this from this yet, I don't really know how to bring it to you. John Ray III, the current CEO of FTX, has hinted at the possibility of restarting FTX. So remember the FTX that completely imploded? Kaboom! The one that disappeared, billions of dollars were gone. They're talking about bringing that back. The international crypto exchange that lies at the center of the Sam Bankman-Fried, Alameda, Genesis, etc. failed crypto empire. Mr. Ray, who was brought in last November to clean up the mess made by Sam Bankman-Fried and his team, has spent the past 2 months salvaging assets from the exchange in a bid to secure some value for the exchange's investors and customers. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal, new CEO John Ray III revealed he has set up a task force to explore the possibility of restarting FTX. The CEO acknowledged that rebooting the exchange may be feasible. Shutting it down and returning available assets to customers would be the other available option. If reviving the exchange leads to more recovery, then the liquidation of assets in the exchange will be restarted. These people don't really care about giving you back your money. The idea is to turn back on the faucet. The idea is that if people are dumb enough, dumb, D-U-M-M-M-M-B, I spelled it that way, get over it. Dumb enough to put their money back onto this exchange and give them fees and trade on it, they're going to restart it. Because what happens is they'll be able to give people back their money, but you've also returned back on the faucet for them to make them reputable and rich and big once again. So that 5 years down the line, when they should have just packed it up and left, you allowed them to come back. Do you understand how disgusting this news is? Do you understand the tone in this article as well? They're trying their best to make sure that everything turns out better. You would retrust the same 3 letters? Do you remember a couple of weeks ago when I told all of you, what is it? I think it's 3 Arrows Capital. I don't remember. There's a lot of stuff that failed last year. They announced that they're also, this bankrupt exchange crypto entity announced that they're also trying to raise $25 million to make another crypto exchange called GTX. And can you guess if they got the $25 million in funding? Spoiler, they did. So the news is, how I sincerely wish I was joking to all of you, they're thinking about restarting FTX. If anyone here listening to or watching this channel rejoins that exchange, and if they go belly up once again, who do you think you have to blame? The problem is that quite often in the cryptocurrency space, I'm thinking of BitConnect, I'm thinking of the original Terra Luna, I'm thinking of a lot of different things. People still run back to these coins and these platforms and these people thinking that they know better than them because they're rich. A lot of people take the assumption that if someone has money, they know what they're doing. They only have money because you gave it to them. If this crypto exchange relaunches, which they're probably going to do, if you have the option of restarting an exchange and getting millions of dollars per month in trading fees, they're going to do it. But if this ends up surviving and making it, I will have lost nearly all faith in crypto at that point. Do you remember how everyone lost their minds? And you can sit there and say It has a new leadership. It has a new so-and-so. It has a new this. Since the collapse of FTX, how many times have I brought you the news and showed you and told you all the other crypto things that were also wrong that ended up then going wrong in the last 3 months? Multiple times, even just the last week and a half. These people only want your money. You are not even anything of an option to them. You are part of the faucet. You are one drop in the bucket. If you get enough drops, it starts a flood. If it starts a flood, these people become rich. They're all doing the exact same things. We're going to move on from here, don't worry. But just understand, FTX, the old version, was not the only one to do what it did. They all leverage, they all over leverage, they all have collateralized assets, and many of them are not backed. Do you think that this exchange is going to completely change? Or do you think they're going to try and become a multi-billion cryptocurrency exchange once again? Anyway, the news is, just thought I'd bring it to, bring the news to you. FTX might be relaunching, so, use your own discretion and all that stuff. Let's move on. And also, in good luck, I hope it works out for you. The Web3 Foundation, which supports the Polkadot protocol, has again presented its argument that its native token DOT is not a security. In a Twitter thread, the foundation emphasized its efforts to comply with U.S. securities laws, as well as Securities and Exchange Commission guidance on digital assets, and declared that DOT has successfully morphed and is a software, not a security. The Web3 Foundation reposted an excerpt from a December Twitter space where Angela Dalton, identified as an advisor to the foundation, described how representatives accepted the SEC's invitation to come in and talk to us. Subsequently, the foundation claimed the foundation made sure the SEC's, there's a lot of SEC in this video. The foundation made sure that the SEC's full vision of token morphing was addressed, as well as taking steps to manage the distribution of DOT tokens so that no individual holds a large percentage of the network. Turning down purchases from venture capitalists interested solely in investment purposes and promoting the tech but not the token. They said the foundation is confident DOT has morphed and is not a security. It is software. It's not a coin. It's not decentralized. It's just a software. Okay. The foundation concluded Polkadot is a multi-chain software that had 66 blockchains operating on it, and its Kusama parachain network as of October 2023. So the news is these people, bless their hearts, have announced that they believe that based on metrics that the SEC told them had to happen, that their coin is no longer something that would have looked like a security, but is now, it says it is software. I'm not understanding how that makes any sense as far as like, are you just announcing that you're not a blockchain anymore, that you are a computer program that can be turned on and off? Like Solana? I'm not getting the full gist of this. So cool. I think the worst thing in the world for them would be if what's this guy's name? Shmama, the guy who runs the SEC, I don't remember. It's gonna come to me in like 2 minutes as well. Anyway. If he announces that this coin is actually a security, and then they also get the same XRP treatment, which even more so, hold on, backing it up there. If the people from Polkadot had a conversation with the SEC and they were alerted that they only had to do a couple of things to be able to morph their coin into something that was no longer a security, does that mean that other coins have also had that conversation with the SEC? Does that also mean? Probably not. I assume Ripple did not have this conversation with the SEC at any given point. I assume they did not. The SEC is so corrupt. It's actually super gross. So that's the people from Polkadot said that their token has morphed. It's no longer a security. Add it to every crypto exchange because that's usually the goal for what's happening now. I'm still not understanding why they are a software. So that also leads to a lot of questions. Let's move on. Yeah. I hope that you've all enjoyed this video. I hope that you all have a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, night, daytime, summertime, wherever you're watching this video. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, subscribing, liking, commenting as many times as you want because it helps with the algorithm. And I will be talking to you all soon. See ya.